32 and still no kids? Yeah. It's actually really weird that you would even ask me about kids at this young age. 32, what? It's basically a teen pregnancy. It's invasive and it's strange. Let me have a little time to be a kid myself before you start asking me about that.
I can't really believe that I am looking for a male perspective right now, but I have to know what it is about being a single mom that men are eating it up. Like, why? Because I remember thinking about that before I got separated. Like, is anyone gonna want to date me? I have 2 little kids. Not a problem, ladies. If you're thinking about leaving your man, have at it. Not a problem out here. In fact, it's a little concerning to me how many men love the fact that I'm a mom. Like, what is it? What's the draw?
Yo, some women get on my fucking nerve. Like, they're over here fucking turning 40, telling me that, oh, I can't find a good man. And then they fucking talk to someone and they just stop talking to them. And I'm like, well, what the fuck happened? Oh, well, I asked him what he was doing and he told me he was eating chicken wings. Okay, and that was it. He was eating fucking chicken wings. You fucking stopped talking to him because he was eating fucking chicken wings? No, he should have, like, ate something healthier. Like, I want my guy to eat something healthy. The guy fucking wants chicken wings. You just stopped talking to a guy for eating fucking chicken wings. That's why you fucking 40 and single. Like, what do you mean? They ain't good guys. He's not a good guy because he eats fucking chicken wings? Get the fuck out of here.
At this point, everyone I know is like, yo, what's up with dating? What's up with the men in your life? There are no men in my life. I'm not dating. I'm just fucking out here living. I'm just out here fucking living. Yeah, it'd be cool to have a partner. It also wouldn't be cool to have a partner. Like, I don't want anyone checking up on me, but I also do want people checking up on me. Friends, man, I don't give a fuck. Phone's dry sometimes and I'm like sad about it. And then it's dry sometimes and I'm like so fucking happy. And then I like wake up in the morning and I do all of my things and I'm like, I just like couldn't imagine being quiet right now for a man that was sleeping next to me, you know? And then I couldn't imagine being woken up because of a man being loud in the bathroom. Like, that'll be my 13th reason. How do you guys do that? How do people do that? And like, I think about how I used to do that. And like, I got red flags and I know that the man's going to have red flags. It's just like a lie. Now, if it's my man, I'm sure I'm not even going to fucking think twice, right? But that's how I know. If that man is not my man, he's going to bother the fuck out of me all the time. Now listen, all of you guys are like, well, my husband bothers the fuck out of me all the time. Yeah, I get it. But also like, how much does he annoy you? Because I think there's a point where you're like, well, why are you with him? Why are you with him? I've been single, been living on my own for far too long. I ain't going to just give that up for nobody. It's going to be motherfucking worth it. And my phone's dry because I choose for it to be dry. I could text 5 men if I wanted to have some flirty banter right now, but I don't want to face the repercussions. I don't want to go and have to follow through. I don't want to do that. I just want to have some fun, but not all the time. Not all the time. Things have changed. That's called growth. I'm growing. I don't want to be out here breaking men's hearts. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not fun. I don't want to do that. So we're going to stay dry. We're going to stay single. We're going to be waiting for the man to just knock on my door one day. I know that's right.
I'm a virgin at 35, but I am the more rare breed, I guess you could say. I don't want a lot of the things that people think that I want. I'm not religious, very spiritual, very vocal about not being in favor of marriage. Very much a committed long-term relationship girl. The concept of marriage is like very lost on me, and I've never wanted to be a mother. I'm very in tune with myself, and you know, when something feels right, it feels right. When it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's really all it comes down to. I've never met anyone who feels right for me because I don't believe the timing has been right in my life. I feel like I've had like a little bit of a later start, but that doesn't mean anything about where I'm headed. I love being me. I love it. I would not want to be another single person on this planet. Bless up.
You know, the one thing that I've realized that makes it so much harder dating in my 30s as a Christian woman now? The whole idea of dating opposites those attract, I have found is not the case. Maybe he's more outgoing, maybe she's more shy, vice versa. But when it comes down to ideologies and belief systems, opposites indeed do not attract, nor do they stick together. And the things that I used to put up with when I was younger, it doesn't fly anymore. And things that I see that I know would be a huge issue later on in the relationship are things that I cut people off immediately for now. There's no point in waiting around trying to figure out if that red flag is indeed a red flag disguised in a green one when you know that it's a red flag. And because of that, I find that my talking stages are much shorter than they used to be. I'm talking like, give me a few days and I'll know whether or not I'm interested in getting on this ride moving forward. I enjoy my peace entirely too much, and nobody will squander that for me. And now, at the point that I'm at in my walk with the Lord, I've been asking God to open my eyes to things that I might not have known that I was the problem at one point in my life. And then on top of that, trying to find a man to God is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. And then let you find him doesn't necessarily mean that because he's a man of God that he's your man of God. So not only are we looking for the needle in a haystack, but we're looking for the needle in a haystack that's also underneath the bottom of the ocean. It's rough out here, y'all.
I have a theory as to why dating in your 30s as a woman is so difficult. And again, this is my theory. It's backed by the very small data points that I've collected throughout my dating tenure so far. And I have this theory that men in their 30s, a lot of them, are not serious about dating. And that is because when they're in their 20s, they're grinding, building a life, building a career. And that might be the time when they are interested in marriage, where they're able to come together with somebody else that is building and grinding with the goal to build and grind together. But then the men that are left over get to their 30s and the building and grinding is starting to pay off and they have money. And now they are single in their 30s with money. That is a completely different lifestyle that a lot of men, I don't think, want to get rid of. And so I think they kind of come into this new world of being a successful guy in their 30s, not wanting to let that slip away. So they're on the dating apps, using them as like a tool just to meet women for the fun of it and whatever they can get out of it, without the actual intention of being serious and actually wanting to settle down. Now, as they start to get towards the very tail end of their 30s and teeter over into their 40s, that's when they start to get worn out on this practice that they've started in their 30s, and then they start to become serious and want to settle down. Obviously, I'm way overgeneralizing and lumping a lot of people into a couple categories, but I've gone on dates with men who have said, I didn't even think I wanted to get married until I hit 39 or 40. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, shoot, I should probably try and meet somebody now. And meanwhile, I'm dating guys who are 36, 37, and they're like, not serious, not serious, not serious. They aren't serious about following up on dates, or they're just, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious. And so this sort of pattern is just what's being demonstrated to me, like I said, in my dating tenure. So I think that's why dating as a woman in your 30s is such a challenge, is we just have a bunch of men out here running around who are successful and making money and not ready to tie themselves down right now. I think as women, we need to either drop our age range way down, or we need to kind of really look for those serious guys, 39, 40, etc., who haven't been married yet. Just my theory.
Okay, I am a 36, almost 37-year-old single female living in San Diego. And I was seeing a guy for over a month and could not get this guy to ask me out on a proper date. It was like pulling teeth. He wanted to stay at home, get takeout, just be on the couch. And I'm just curious if I'm the only 21 going through this. And at the end of it, I mean, we're no longer talking. There was about 11 days of radio silence, to the point where you're questioning, like, is the guy dead? No, he found someone else. So yeah, I guess I'm just scratching my head for all the single females out there. Are the men just not putting in the effort anymore?
You know what I hate about dating in your 30s? I don't understand what the point is in putting in the effort to have all of these conversations if you're just going to ghost in the end, or just be like, actually, never mind. And before you say it, you are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to get to know somebody and decide, actually, we're not a great fit. That's fine. I'm referring to all of the conversations where you start getting to know each other and you're like, yeah, we have that in common. Yeah, we have that in common. Yeah, that's great. I'm like, we have a lot. Like, I love this vibe. This vibe is going well. And you're giving all of these reassurances that your conversation is going well. And you just end it with nothing. And they ghost you and you never hear from them again. You're like, why did you put in all that effort? And why did you reassure me? And why did you make it sound like our vibe was good if you were just going to ghost? What the hell is the point of putting that kind of effort in? Like, that's a lot of effort for nothing. Like, why? Like, this is why I feel like I should just have all of my answers pre-saved so that I could just copy paste them, because everybody's asking the same thing. And why do I have to put all of this effort into talking to people if you're just going to ghost in the end after reassuring me that things were going well? Then you just flip the switch. Because like I said, you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to think that we don't have things in common. But telling me, yes, we have things in common. Yes, this sounds great. This is great. Like, and then just to flip the switch and ghost you in the end. Or better yet, you get to know somebody for a couple of weeks. They ask you out on a date, reassure you a couple days before that you're going to go out on that date, tell you the day before, I can't wait to see you, can't wait to meet you. And then message you the morning, the day before you're supposed to go out, saying, actually, I don't think we're compatible. What? Like, we spent 2 weeks talking, reassured at every single direction, here, there, everywhere, that things were going good and the vibe was good. And then you just change your mind like that after, and within 5 hours. Like, again, you're allowed to change your mind, but don't reassure the behavior and the conversation and everything that everything is going well just to yank it out and disappear. It's very, very, very annoying. It's discouraging. It's why I hate dating.
Here's a little dating update from me. I know that a lot of people on here follow me because of the things that I've said about dating and stuff in the past. So I thought I would just give a little update on my scenario and situation. So I have started dating again, and I say dating, but like chatting to people. And I was chatting to someone at the end of last month, and it's not really come of anything. We went out a few times, and I'm feeling wallowing a little bit, feeling a bit sad about it, because ultimately I've been dealing with like the rejection side of things. They called things off, and so I've been feeling a bit rubbish, but it happens. Unfortunately, this is what the dating life and world has in store for you. And the first person that I go out with in however long isn't going to be the person that I end up having any sort of relationship with, because I'm just never going to be that lucky, to be honest. But I just wanted to let everyone know that if you are currently going through like rejection and speaking to someone and them calling things off, just to remember that it's fine to feel down and sad and upset about it, because that's how you get over these things. You have to feel the emotions and go through it. And it's normal to feel a bit down and a bit sad, but you can pick yourself back up again. You know, I was like, I know I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be absolutely fine. Sure, I'll get back on the horse, as they say. And maybe I will go on another date with someone else if the, opportunity arises in a few weeks, just to keep myself going. Because I think if I was just to quit now, then I would end up not doing it again for ages. So I just need to keep the momentum going. So that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, that is the dating update. And for anyone who is feeling the same, just know that we're in it together.
You know what I hate about dating in your 30s? Dating apps are hard. I feel like I've swiped on all of the swipeable. I feel like they're just dry. And like, where else am I supposed to meet someone? I'm not going to meet anybody when I leave my house, you know, for a hot yoga class. I'm not going to meet anybody for the gym because people don't do that anymore. People don't just go up to people and talk to them anymore. And I order my groceries to my house, and I run a beauty business, so all of my clients are women. It's just going to be me and my cat forever, isn't it? I hate dating in your 30s. It's like you want somebody to just show up and break into your house and then you could be together because that would be easier. Because, like, how do you do it? What are the other options? Where do you meet people? I mean, like, I like being single. I like doing things on my own. I pay for my own bills. I pay for my place. Like, I don't need anybody, but I want someone. How do you do it? I hate dating in your 30s, man. I hate it.
People are like, you're failing at dating because you don't have a roster. You want me to like more than one man? I can barely like one man. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to like one man in particular, period. And now you're telling me that if I want that one that I chose to like me, I should have 5 or 6 so I can make him jealous so he knows that I have options. I don't want to make anybody jealous. I don't want to play weird games. I don't want Tinder or Hinge. I was made to be a wife. I was made to be at home. I want to sit on the couch. I want to watch movies. I want to snuggle under a blanket. I want to kiss occasionally, a lot. And I want to hold hands, okay? I was not made for this dating world. The fact that I was thrown back into dating in 2026, kill me. I'm going to be single forever because I don't have the energy to date more than one person or the capacity to even like more than one man at a time. They make it hard to like them to begin with. So, guess I'm going to die alone.
Have you ever thought about the fact that, like, we're going to have to create systems and things that we have never seen before? Like, if so many of us as women are planning on not having children and growing old with our friends and living in this sort of communal way that's very much not what I grew up with the whole, like, and you were born from parents, and then you have kids, and then their kids have kids, and then eventually you're the grandpa, and you're sitting there with your family, and there's, like, young people built in. We're going to have to build ways of living and ways of existing and ways of connecting with younger generations and older generations that we have not seen before because we've been in such a repressive patriarchy. And we have been forced to live in nuclear families, or at least nuclear families with maybe an extra generation somewhere. But in order to create what so many of us are talking about right now, we are going to have to build systems that were not passed down to us. And I find that extremely fascinating and also super intimidating. So if anyone is already like talking about how we're going to do this tangibly, please point me in their direction because I want to know more.
So let me tell you another fun dating story. This is how dating goes in your 40s. So I matched with this guy and we started chatting. Immediately seemed fun and cool, and he asked for my number. And I kind of suck at the apps. I get overwhelmed, and then I stop responding to people because there's too much to think about, and then the conversation dies because they're annoyed, and that's kind of how it goes, right? Yes, I am to blame a lot of the time. Anyways, he asked for my number, and I'm like, well, let's just give him my number because then I'll at least respond, probably, because it's easier than the apps. So we start texting. And he is a texter. So texting all the time, checking in, sending memes, sending gifts, like just all the time. And it was okay. Like, I like a good text, but this was a lot. And I knew that I probably wouldn't be able to keep up with his pace. So I kind of set the tone of how my pace would go. And he knew I'd respond when I can because I don't have all that extra time to like text at work and stuff. So he asks me out for Friday night. And I was busy Friday night, so we didn't go out. And then he texted me Saturday and asked me for Saturday. And he said he was going to go to the Lantern Festival with his niece and nephew. And I said, oh, I don't want to crash your night with your niece and your nephew. Let's just do it another night. And he said, okay, what about tomorrow? He said, tomorrow, I'm all yours. Let's go out tomorrow. And I was like, great, let's go out tomorrow. So he texts me on Sunday. And he says, we still on for tonight? And I said, yeah, I'm at volleyball. Now, it did take a little while to respond, but I said, I'm at volleyball. And when I'm done, yeah, let's do something. Okay, so then he responds and he sends me a picture of his face. And under his eye was all swollen, big swollen right here. And he said, I'm actually Instacare. And I said, well, what's going on? Now, backstory, he had sent me a bunch of pictures of different injuries he's had. And I was like, no, I don't want any more pictures of injuries. Like, I don't want to see them. So when he sent it, I immediately was like, why do I kind of not believe that this is a real picture? I was like, I kind of think you're trying to pull my leg, because I didn't want to see any more pictures. And he's like, no, I promise. They think I'm having an allergic reaction to something, but just not sure what. And I was like, oh, they're probably going to give you Benadryl. And he said, yep, actually they did. And I said, you're going to want to sleep all day. And he said, yeah, well, they gave me some Benadryl, so I'm going to go home and take a nap, but we're still good for tonight, right? And I was like, sure, but go home and nap. So that was yesterday, which was Sunday at 2 o'clock. It is now Monday at 7 o'clock, and I haven't heard from this man. So my mind goes two different directions. My first thought is like, crap, is he okay? Like, should I check on him? And then my second thought is like, did I just get played by some man who really had something else going on, and his excuse was that he had to go to Instacare? So I don't reach out to men. Like, that's just not my thing. But should I be reaching out to make sure he's okay? Or am I a fool? And that was just his excuse. But why make an excuse if you're the one that asked me out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you were so excited and then disappear? Anyways, this is how dating goes. You talk to someone, you get excited, and then they disappear. Or you talk to someone and then they have an allergic reaction and then you never hear from them again. Or you talk to someone and they're really excited and you're not, and then you just don't know what you're going to get. I mean, half the time you're just going to get pictures of things that you didn't ask for. So that's how dating in your 40s goes. I'm not sure how to respond if he does reach back out, because men always come back. Let's be honest, they come back. And so I don't know if I hear him out or what. So if you're thinking about dating in your 40s, I mean, don't do it. I'd advise against it. But should I hear him out if he responds? I mean, not if he responds. Should I hear him out if he comes back from the dead?
I'm 42 years old, I'm single, and I kind of think I know why a lot of relationships end. And I kind of think divorce is a good thing sometimes. Of course, you don't want to get divorced. Of course, you want to stay together and, live happily ever after. However, if things aren't going well and you've tried really hard and you've done all the things, then there's just no sense in staying in a relationship like that, because every person deserves happiness. And even if you have kids, that's obviously really difficult and you don't want to break up. Like, I have a kid, and, it was one of the reasons why I think her dad and I stayed together for a long time was because of her. But eventually it came to the point where I wasn't as good of a mother as I could have been, and he probably wasn't as good as a dad as he could have been, because we just were at each other a lot. We're just better parents separately. And also teaching her that everybody deserves love. But I think what happens, and I can be wrong, and this actually is not what happened in my last relationship, but I think mostly this is what happens. I think people meet at a certain time of their life, and at that time they're evolved at the same level, everything's fine, and they literally grow apart. Everybody's evolving at different rates all the time. Even though you, let's say, are married and live together, you still like have different hurdles at work, or different hurdles with your friends. Like, you have different situations with your parents. Like, it's just, there's so many different things in life that kind of can affect how you are evolving as a human. And then also, like, how well are you dealing with some of those things too, because that can hinder your evolution as well. So over time, I think it's pretty often and likely that two people eventually kind of start to evolve so far apart that now they're really just not a great match. And you hold on to it because you're supposed to, and you have these vows, and just so, like, your lives are just woven so deeply together, as they should be. But if you've grown apart and you're better apart, then what are we holding on to? Just to, like, sit in this pile of being like, I'm not divorced or married, or because of I believe in something that says that I'm bad if I do this. Like, you live one time in your life, like, you should be happy. That conversation also needs to happen well before it's to the point where people are cheating and having it get, like, super, super nasty. Like, I think it would just be much easier if people could be open and honest with their feelings. Although very hard conversations, I think that it's just much easier in the long run to just be open and honest as you go. Side note, men, us women, we always know when you cheat. Don't think that we don't. Women's intuition is so strong. I know this because I've been cheated on, and I was married previously. My ex-husband was a musician, and he was super funny and super cute and like a front man, and everyone loved him, and he got a ton of female attention. And I know with every fiber of my body that man did not cheat on me, but other people have, and that have said that they haven't, and I know that they have. So we know. I got off track, but still, all of this is making sense. Maybe none of it's making sense. I don't know.
There's a grief that happens when you're a single woman in your 40s that doesn't get talked about enough. It's the grief of the life that you've imagined. And honestly, no one really prepares you for this kind of grief. It's the relationship you thought you'd have, the family you pictured, the version of you thought you'd become. And it hits at, like, random moments. On the holidays, of course, and you're hanging out with your friends who have kids, or you're just randomly at Target and you see a couple holding hands. But please hear me. Feeling that grief doesn't mean you messed up your life. It means you're human, and it means that you're smart. You're allowed to grieve what didn't happen and still build something beautiful from here.
When you're over 45 and re-downloading the same old dating apps, and it's the same lineup. Girl, the way online dating hits you with deja vu should honestly be illegal. You open the app, and it's the same men from 2 years ago. Same smile, same profile, same exact trout they've been holding like it was a newborn baby. And then if they have the audacity to say, just looking for a fresh start, sir, your fish has been fresh longer than your dating approach. Meanwhile, I'm out here as a single mom of 3, scrolling through these profiles like, God, is this a punishment? So, if this felt a little bit too familiar, hit a like and follow, because I have 29 more days of online dating chaos coming your way.
So all the men from my previous post saying that they have found peace by being alone and they're not trying to date because they just want peace. Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace to your life? I have to disagree. I do not think that if a woman that you so desired was available to you, you would choose peace over commitment, sex, good meals with conversation, and things like that. So I'm going to call your bluff because I don't think that's true. This, by the way, is not police lights. This is some kind of flashing light in a parking lot. I'm not quite sure what it is. But anyway, again, calling your bluff. Okay?